Willie D Live.
What's up, family? According to reports, Damon Dash has filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. He allegedly is staring down an 8-figure debt, but only has assets of a few grand and only $100 in cash. Damon, as you know, back in the 90s, early 2000s, was killing it with Roc-A-Fella. He, Kareem, and Jay-Z, unstoppable. But lately, Damon has ran into some money issues, right? There are people who are taking this opportunity to basically dance on his grave, so to speak, his financial grave. And here's the thing, fam. Just because somebody files for bankruptcy doesn't mean that they can't buy a sandwich, doesn't mean that they can't afford to live in a nice place and, and have the essentials taken care of. Here's the thing. Bankruptcy is one of those things that it's a part of doing business. It's part of doing business. You do know that most all of the major companies have filed for bankruptcy at least once. Some have filed for several times. United Airlines, I know they filed several times, especially when they were Continental Airlines. So if the majors, these big corporations, can file for bankruptcy, to protect whatever assets that they have and to also get debt wiped away. I'm not the one to look at somebody going through a rough patch like this and try to kick them while they're down, because I'm gonna tell you something, fam. Anybody can go through a rough patch. Anybody. Damon, what he's going through is only magnified because of who he is. Only magnified because he is a celebrity. There's a whole lot of people going through bankruptcy right now. Some people just ain't filed. And then some people ain't got enough money to file for bankruptcy. You dig what I'm saying? They ain't got enough assets. They don't owe enough to file for bankruptcy, but they're pretty much bankrupt. So when I hear that people have filed for bankruptcy and stuff, I don't be like, yeah, man, he's done, he's finished. Not Damon Dash. Man, Damon Dash is a sharp dude. And I know some of y'all saying, well, if he's so sharp, how come he ain't got no money? You do know that most people who became millionaires wasn't always millionaires, right? They didn't always have money. They was always sharp. They were always sharp. But they didn't always have money. They didn't always make the best decisions, and things didn't always work out financially, but they kept on going. The average millionaire, it is said, fails about 20 businesses before they actually get the money right and keep going. Now, I know Damon got to the money and then, things happen. But that can happen. Millionaires have became millionaires. Guys have became millionaires and then blew the bag and then went back and got it again. I do believe that Damon is one of them dudes who's going to go back there and get it again, because his hustle is immeasurable. Like, it is hard to go as hard as he go. For most people ain't got that kind of energy. Even a lot of these youngsters who are out there today doing their thing, man, they can't keep up with Damon Dash. So, and the same can be said about some of you guys who are watching me right now. Y'all have done things and you failed in business, or you made money in business and then things got messed up and you lost the money, and now you're on the track to recovery, or perhaps you already got it back. And now, you're stable. You got your money right. You fixed the things that were wrong. You improved on the things that you were already doing well. And now you good financially. So I'm not tripping on that like that. I'm not tripping, especially on Damon Dash. I wouldn't bet against Damon Dash. I just would not bet against a dude like that. His hustle is too strong. His hustle is way too strong to bet against him. I wouldn't bet against a guy like Damon Dash. Damon's gonna bounce back. I think he has a book coming, and he has his film company thing going, and I believe he's in a group or something like that. So he got some irons in the fire, so things could make a turn for the better. All he needs is one thing to hit. Just one thing, boom, and he back in, all the way back in. And I'm sure he'll be a lot more cautious going forward. Damon helped a lot of people who he says did not help him when he got down. So I'm sure he's gonna learn from that. I don't think that's gonna make him not help people anymore, because he's just one of them dudes. Seem like to me, if he can help you, he'll help you. If you know him like that and you can get to him and he believes in what you're doing, Damon's the kind of dude, I think he'll help you. So I don't see him not doing that any longer. I just see him being more cautious about who he helps. And also, getting some of that stuff in writing, making sure that if somebody just happens to forget that they owe you money when they come up, you can get your paper. I think one of his biggest sins is just trusting people, But what can you do if you're a trusting person? What can you do about that? Like I said, the main thing that he can do is just be a little bit more cautious, be a little bit more selective, exercise more discretion. But other than that, he is who he is. And I do believe Damon Dash is going to bounce back. And all these people that's trying to kick him while he's down, they are mainly people who ain't came up themselves at all. Most of the people that's talking down on Damon Dash, they ain't never did nothing nowhere remotely as big as he's done. If Damon Dash don't do nothing else, let's say he don't ever get no big money again. Let's just say that happens. Well, he's already made history. He's already put his name in the history books. What he did over there at Roc-A-Fella, unmatched. They did their thing, and for a moment in the game, that's all you heard. Roc-A-Fella, Roc-A-Fella, Roc-A-Fella. They did that. And love it or hate it, he's always going to be joined at the hip with Jay-Z, because he helped Jay-Z get to where he is. He helped Jay-Z become a household name, as Jay-Z helped him become a household name. You dig what I'm saying? But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Before I go, I gotta just let you know this, fam. If you yourself is down on your luck, if you're down and out, don't nobody want to rock with you, everybody laughing, just remember, as long as you're breathing, you got action. No more talk.